What began as an experiment to bring my 11-year-old daughter into my business has evolved into Our Young Creators, a podcast, a training center, and a movement dedicated to equipping kids with real-world marketable skills so that they can fund their own brighter futures. We're here to inspire you to turn consumption time on devices into creation time and use technology as a tool to bond and not bicker with your kids. Join us each week as we share the inner workings of our partnership and bring you stories from guests of all ages and from all walks of life on our quest to nurture and to celebrate our young creators. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am so glad to have you watching live, catching the replay, or listening over on the podcast because I have another special guest for you, and you're definitely going to want to turn up the volume on this interview. Before I introduce you, however, I want to make sure that if it's your first time listening or watching a live video, welcome. I am so glad that you found us, and if you are a returning viewer or listener, I'm so glad that you trust us enough to come back and listen in for more. My name is Yang Pratt, and I am a 17-year performing arts studio owner turned chief dreamer and podcaster right here at Our Young Creators. Here at OYC, we are passionate about helping people harness the power of technology by learning skills to become creators on their devices and not just consumers. And today, my friends, I have Cyndilu Miller here with us. She is one of the graduates of my Podcast in a Weekend class, and her new podcast, Be Bold You, is available everywhere that podcasts can be tuned into. Cyndilu, I am so glad you are joining us live today.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting to be here. And the journey to get to this recording has been a one that we have battled with, but we have pressed on and here we are. So I'm really excited to share today.
Absolutely. Well, and Cyndilu lives in New Zealand, so there's this time change issue. She's changing time soon. Our time zones don't change until I think next month. So we've been trying to figure out what time we're actually meeting today. And I know that because we had a bit of a challenge getting to this point, this conversation today is going to be an amazing one. So definitely turn up those earbuds, turn off all the other distractions, because you're going to want to hear what Cyndilu has to share with you. So Cyndilu, the first thing I would love to know is the story behind the title of this podcast.
Be Bold You is a program that I'm putting together that's going to help people to determine who they are or to step into who they are. Alrighty, so Be Bold You is about stepping into fully who you are. And sometimes you take these assessment tests or you take a personality test and you've got, great, I'm a otter, or I'm a bear, or I'm an owl. Those are some of the ones, or I'm an ENFP or an INTJ. But what do you do with that information? How you apply that to your life is really what I want to do with my program. And I want to help people to find what they want to do as themselves, the voice that they have for themselves, and to truly, completely step into who they are. So the podcast is now become those people who have found their voice, have a message to give, and it's to inspire other people that your voice is worth being heard and to help them get their message out. And I would love to interview anybody that feels like, they have a message that they really want to share with the world. It especially seems to be creatives that resonate best with my audience. So.
Mm-hmm. And that's such an interesting niche of people who have kind of come to this place in their lives where they know they have a message. And it's interesting that this is the topic because I had a conversation with Vanessa, who is on live now. And I know for myself, we've been on this very long quest, it feels like sometimes, because we were both having this burning desire inside, knowing we had a message, but not really knowing how to bring that to the surface or how to share it or what to do next. So I love that you're taking this, the people like me who now are ready to step into the next phase of, or the next level. You're there to give us guidance to go even further. So for that, I want to say a big thank you.
You're so welcome. And helping people come up with those strategies of how to move forward or how to put together maybe a marketing plan or something is something that I just love doing, helping them to figure out what the product would be. I'm not going to create the product for you, but I can come up with what your product should be and how you could market it.
And that's such a special
gift. That's outside of anything we've ever talked about before, Young.
And the more I talk to you and get to know you, I love it because there's all these different layers. And each time that we connect, there's a new discovery. And I just love that because I can completely see why creatives are attracted to you and that's who you serve, because we have a hard time sometimes being able to see past all the ideas we have. So when you step into our lives and you say, oh, I see this in you and I see this in you and I think this would be amazing. As creatives, we need those people who can really see us for who we are, see our strengths, and see what can be the next step, because it's so easy to get trapped here and never let those ideas ever go out into the planet. So for you to be there and say, I see this, I just think that's an incredible gift.
Thank you so much. I'm still unfolding my own layers. So yes, definitely. The coaching and the mentoring is something that I'm fully stepping into this year. So I'm really excited.
And Vanessa, who is watching live, would definitely be somebody that I would love for you to connect with because she has a burning desire to share and she is so ready to share it. So I am happy, Vanessa, that you and I chatted earlier today, and there's a reason you are here live, my friend. And I think the reason is for you to really connect with Cyndilu on a different level than you even thought possible. So I'm glad that this coming together is happening at just the right time. This must be why we couldn't meet all the other times earlier today, Cyndilu.
I think you could be right. It's amazing the divine appointments that happen when you start stepping into the alignment for your life and figuring out exactly what you want to share.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you tell me when you release your new episodes so everyone tuning in can go subscribe and make sure they're ready for that next episode?
Right now, the episodes are releasing once a week, and it is on Thursday. And I'm not sure if it's Thursday New Zealand time or if it's Thursday USA time. So we'll just say Thursday because it'll be the day before for you guys anyway. So it'll be all good. If it's Thursday here, it'll be your Wednesday. And when you go look for it on Thursday, it'll be there. So we'll just say Thursday. That works perfectly.
It's like a little surprise. You can open up your podcast player of choice and, oh, you're expecting Thursday, but there you are on Wednesday. So I think that's a beautiful thing. So can you tell us, if you were to think of one ideal person who needs this podcast in your life, in their life, who would that one person be?
That one person would be somebody who is already on the road to personal development, already trying to figure out who they are, what they want to say, where they're going, who wants to be inspired that somebody else has made it and that there are things that yes may come in the way and struggles that you may have to push past. But that's one of the things I ask almost every single guest. What are the struggles that you had to go through to get you to where you are today? Because we all have struggles, every single one of us. So if you want to be inspired that you can do it and you want to hear other people's stories about what they've done, then this is for you.
And that's so many people in the world. And I just think there's something magical about everything that you just said, because there are challenges. And I think because there's so much access to social media these days, a lot of people, myself included, get caught in this trap sometimes of heading off towards comparison island, where we're looking at somebody else and we're seeing that they're accomplishing big things and we're wondering, well, how come I haven't accomplished that? We're doing the same things, but I see them having more success. And they're not taking into account that we're all at different levels in our journey. Some of us are just starting our journey, some are in the middle, and some are towards the end of their particular journey. So being able to discern between the highlights versus what is actually real, and then charting our own course, I think are really important keys that I think you help people discover.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I have one of my strengths is strategy. The second strength is idea. So I will come up with more ideas than you can implement. And what I encourage people to do is find the one thing that resonates with you. For me right now, it's these interviews. I am loving them. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying highlighting other people and helping to promote them and share their lives with the world. Mm-hmm. And it is a thing that everyone can do, because each of us have our own strengths and each of us have our own unique perspective and view on the world. And sometimes we devalue our view on the world. We don't think that it's enough, or it's, as you said, the comparison game. That is the worst game to play ever. Mm-hmm. And letting go of comparison is one of the strongest things that have moved me forward. And thank you for reminding me of that, because I started comparing again this morning and I felt like I'm going so slow, but I'm really not. If I look at everything that I've done this year, I've published a book, I've launched a podcast, I've created these interview series that I absolutely love doing. I know exactly where I'm going, and I've found my voice this year and my direction. So I'm only a few steps ahead of whoever I'm going to help, but I've figured out how to help myself, and therefore I feel like I can help other people to unwind that.
That's such an important point, that now that you've found yourself, you've figured out a way to help. And I think that's something you and I have in common, that at our cores, we love serving others. We love helping people. And it's a responsibility that I don't take lightly. But I know that everyone listening on the podcast or watching live, I want them all to take away that as well, that they have enormous value, that they were put here for a specific reason. And if you're not sure what your direction is yet, or you think you might be close, I definitely urge you to connect with Cyndilu, because like she said, her strengths are strategy and ideas. And I know for some people, ideas don't come as readily as they do to Cyndilu. So definitely be connecting with her, reach out to her, listen to her podcast, make sure she's in your earbuds, because what she has to share with you could literally change the trajectory of your life.
Yes, and I will be starting to, I think, I'm not gonna think, I'm gonna do. We don't think, we do. If we start thinking, then we're not doing. So I will be adding a second podcast a week. And that one is going to be me talking about the Be Bold You system and what we do and how to come up with ideas and how to strategize. So that's going to be starting next week.
Next week? Yeah. Are we the first to hear about this?
You are. I've been
gosh.
processing it in my brain, but yeah, it's going on the calendar. So that will be Tuesday release.
Wow. So twice a week that we get to glean your wisdom and the wisdom of your guests. I think that is such a tremendous gift. And I love that you were bold enough to step up and not only launch a podcast this year, but release a book, because now I see you moving boldly into this new direction. And I am so excited for this journey of yours.
Thank you so much. Me too.
So can you tell everyone where they can connect with you online and where they can hear you on podcast form?
So I am on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and they're all as Cyndilu Miller, CYNDILUMILLER, if you look me up in those places. And a lot of those places are being revamped. So you'll see changes happening in the next bit because I have figured out what my voice is. And so I'm now aligning my platforms with that. The other place is on cyndilu.com and beboldyou.com. Those are coming. And then my podcast, of course, Be Bold You podcast on iTunes, Apple Play, SoundCloud. SoundCloud, it's on my Cyndilu Miller one, I think. Yeah. Those are the places.
Cyndilu, after we are done with this video, I would love for you to come back and put in all your links right below. So anyone who is watching live or on the replay can click right through, and I'll make sure all of those go over to our website as well. So when we get all your podcast episode ready, people can find you directly from us also.
Sounds awesome. I can do that.
Now, before we wrap up our interview today, I would love to know if there's someone listening or watching and they're on the verge of feeling like they're ready to share their message, but there's something holding them back. Maybe it's technology, maybe it's not being connected to the right people. What advice would you give to them to get past whatever obstacle they are facing to really stand proudly and live boldly?
I would say that finding those strengths, leaning into those strengths, and not focusing on what you can't do, but saying, what can I do in this moment? And taking 100% responsibility for where you are at right now. I had to do that. I had to stop and take 100% responsibility for the fact that, yeah, I bought these courses, but I didn't do them. Of course, I'm not further down the road. I didn't do the work. So you have to keep showing up every day. You have to do the work. But the work is simple. It's not always easy, but it's always simple. One step at a time. It's easy to take a step forward, right? You put your foot in front of you. But sometimes when we're walking along, we find hills and obstacles in the way that feel like mountains. And that is a harder climb, but it's still putting one foot in front of the other. So it can be done. Start moving. Do it messy. Done is better than perfect. And go. And if you need help, call me. Send me a message.
That was so beautifully said, and so many good reminders that it's simple. Most of the work happens here. But if we continue to take action and put one foot in front of the other, a year from now, we're going to be so much further down this road, down this journey than we are today. So thank you for reminding us of that.
Yes, and I think that we compare our own walk to our expectations. So letting go of your own expectations of where you should be and owning where you are today and saying, what can I do to take the next step?
Yes, and should is one of those crazy words like the comparison game. We definitely need to stay far away from that because it often pulls us back down to where we don't want to be, and it makes it harder to get to where we want to go.
Absolutely.
Well, Cyndilu, it has been my absolute pleasure to have you as a guest today. I'm so very proud of this amazing, amazing adventure you are on. And I know that you are just scratching the surface of what is possible for you, my friend. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Young. Your presence in my life has changed my life forever. It took an 8-year dream, and within a week was up and running and live. I'm beyond grateful.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, I think people come into our lives for certain reasons. And I know, we were meant to connect. And I know this is only the beginning of our journey, collaborating and working together, because you and I both have these messages. People need to step into this boldness. And I know you're going to help them get there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in live or catching the replay or even listening over on the podcast. My name is Young Pratt, the Chief Dreamer here at Our Young Creators, and I've just had an amazing conversation with Cyndilu Miller of the brand new podcast, Be Bold You. And with that, my friends, I wish you an amazing day, and I will catch you very soon. Cheers. If you're ready to harness the power of technology and get your message out into the world in a big way to make the impact you know you were meant to make for yourself, for your business, or with your family, head over to Instagram or Facebook and message me at Our Young Creators and let me know that you're ready to be our next graduate in the upcoming Podcast in a Weekend class.